Can you put in perspective how much impact this ruling would have?
Well, this ruling is all about due process. So the Supreme Court is saying that the government cannot just deport these people who are in detention facilities across the country without giving them due notice, which means more than 24 hours, and also the ability to notify their lawyers and file an appeal. So they're saying these people need to be able to file habeas petitions to protest their deportation, to seek their release. And this is really an extension of the earlier order that we saw come in April 19th, in 1 o'clock in the morning when they were acting under extreme urgency because they had reports that these men were being put on buses and taken to airports.
We have gotten reaction from President Trump to this ruling, perhaps no surprise. All caps on Truth Social. The Supreme Court won't allow us to get criminals out of our country. But, Sara, my understanding of what you just said is not that the Supreme Court is saying you can't get them out. You just have to go through due process in order to do so. This isn't necessarily, for example, saying the administration firmly cannot use the Aliens Enemies Act under any circumstances. You just need due process along with that.
This is exactly right. They have not weighed in at all on the use of the Alien Enemies Act. This is about due process. But they're also pointing to another case, which is the Abrego-Garcia case, in which we had a hearing again today. And the other issue is that the government has not provided any evidence about any of these detainees to show that they are criminals. So we just have the government's word, but there's a lot of back and forth between judges and the administration over whether or not these people can be detained and deported and why. So, for example, in the Abrego-Garcia case, the judge today was very frustrated because the government has not answered any questions about this man and why he was deported. And the government has already admitted that he was mistakenly deported. And they're invoking the State Secrets Act. But the judge said, in that case, said she doesn't even have enough information to evaluate whether that is correctly applied.
We're talking about Venezuelan migrants in this case. What precedent might this ruling have for others who the president wants to send to El Salvador?
Well, clearly the rule of law and the precedents around rule of law are going to be extended to other cases. In this Venezuelan deportees case, there are actually 2 that are filing the case, but there are nearly 200 in detention centers around the country that would be affected by this order, and potentially others.